On today's episode of We Say Soccer, August 18th, 2021, we look back on the historic career of Carli Lloyd and her impact on not only women's soccer but U.S. soccer as a whole. We review some midweek games, including the German Super Cup between Dortmund and Bayern, as well as preview and predict the upcoming Matchweek 2 in the EPL. Along with that, we have a new segment called the We Say Soccer Pick'em Table, where we take 4 games and make our best picks for the weekend. Jeff ain't made the song yet. What's goody, footy fans? And welcome to another episode of We Say Soccer, an American take on the world's game. It's your boy, Big John, coming to you again, live with my two good friends, Jeff and Jibs. Jeff, how's your week been, my man?
It was good, man. I just worked, and now we're starting to get closer to game to get to match day.
Oh,
So
I'm ready.
yeah, I'm getting excited. There's some cool matches in here. Some barn burners, as we would say in North Kakalaki. But yeah, man, week's been going good. So what about you, Jibs? How's it been going?
Hanging in there, man. Pretty excited. We got last week without a Monday game, I think, for a little bit. Next Monday, we got a barn burner as well, as you like to say, in North Kakalaki. John, I know you're excited for that as well.
For
Hello, good
sure, for
evening.
sure.
Good to see you. No, I'm having a great week. Actually, a little bit bummed, but very proud because America's own legendary captain for the U.S. women's national team, Carli Lloyd, is retiring. And I wanted to make this part of my intro this week. She's a fellow Jersey girl. I was born in Jersey, always rooted for her. She went to Rutgers, 4-time All-American. Not a big deal. Thanks, Spit and Chicklets. 4 straight U21 championships, world titles with that team. She joined the U.S. women's national team at 23. And then for some of the accolades, '08 Olympics, scored game-winning goal against Brazil in overtime to win the gold medal. 2012
Gold.
Olympics, scored both goals and a 2-1 win over at the time rival Japan for the
I
gold
love
medal.
Gold.
gold. I love
Gold.
gold.
2015 World Cup in the final, hat trick in the first 16 minutes to beat again rival Japan. That was the one where her third goal came from midfield, John. I don't know if you remember that one, but saw the keeper was out of her line and just banged it deep. So that was for the
And what was
world.
it for? Gold.
And then in 2019 World Cup, scored 3 goals in tournament en route to the World Championship.
Gold.
And then in the 2020 Olympics, scored twice on the way to beat Australia 4-3 in the bronze medal match.
Bronze.
So huge respect to Carli Lloyd, one of my favorite women's players of all time. Like
No, for
probably
sure.
right up there with Abby Wambach and Alex Morgan in the non-Mia Hamm era of our youth. Pretty cool retirement tour coming up. 2 U.S. women's national team games in September against Paraguay and Cleveland and Cincinnati. And then 2 games in October against South Korea in Kansas City and St. Paul, Minnesota. So
Oh,
those
get
are
out there, get your
good,
tickets.
yeah, really good soccer cities in the U.S. So she's going to get a proper send off. Hopefully, sellouts. I imagine the games in Cincinnati and then Kansas City will be just insane because they always really show out as well on a national pride level. So, Carly, I know you may never hear this, but we just want to say thanks. You're a badass. We love
Thank you, Carli.
Thank you, Carly. And
Thank you,
yeah,
thank you.
that's it for my intro. So, John, what's going on in your world? I know you're excited
Yeah, man.
for the weekend.
United, top of the table. You know, we shouldn't. 1 weekend, 37 more to go. Let's keep it there. I am excited. Got some work, so I definitely some of the games I'm gonna be catching on the different screens we got going on at the brewery, but definitely hype. Ready for match week 2. Match week 1, if it's anything like match week 1, we're gonna be good. No draws and a goal in every game at least. So I'm hoping for that.
No draws.
Exactly. I'm hoping for. I don't want to see no draws.
Free balling. We want free balling.
Yeah.
Free going.
We want a free balling week.
Free going. No, but with that, let's get into some transfers. We have one of the top 8, maybe. Was pretty active today. Arsenal brought in Martin Odegaard from Madrid. Madrid's turned into almost a selling club with their financial woes over there in Spain. 35 million. He went on a 6-month loan last year to Arsenal. They brought him back. As well as Martin Odegaard, they brought in Aaron Ramsdale from Sheffield for around 30 mil. I think it's like 26 plus maybe 4 in add-ons. Yeah, England's number 3 when Henderson got injured. So he came in. He was a reserve keeper on the Euro squad. I tweeted out, if you saw it earlier, I think this is them just making the same team as last year that finished 8th. So I don't see how they're really any upgrades. They seem like sideways moves. Leno couldn't do anything last game, so maybe Ramsdale can do a little something, give him a little spark. But
I think
they do got Chelsea coming up. Yeah, I think
that
one's not a bad deal.
They got Odegaard back. Like if you're gonna have a successful loan spell with a team, it's nice bringing them back. And obviously, it's not on the level of say if the Spurs had brought Bale back, but
yeah, exactly.
I like that move. I really, as a United fan, love the keeper move. For them, I very much dislike the keeper move. I don't get it. I think it was overly costly. There's a lot of veteran keepers around the world this year that went on freeze that I thought they could have just snagged one of those up if this was the plan. And I think Troops from Barstool mentioned that when he was talking about the keeper situation. He seems let down about the keeper move.
Yeah, 100%. And then we got around Europe, Locatelli going to Juve. That move is finally completed. Here we go from Fabrizio today. What was it, 35 million? So that's a good move, and it's something it's been going on for a while. It's been in the news, been rumored about. He definitely showed up at the Euros, and deserves this move. And like most Italian players, they do like going to Juve, just like Bayern and Germany.
It's amazing how there's almost like not an Italian tax. Like I thought if this was an English player in the Premier League, it would be twice the cost. So it's crazy. Like they enjoy helping out the big clubs over there. Maybe there's a secret society of talking the finances of Serie A or something, but great move. Great player at the Euros. Really exciting to watch. So let's see if he can feed some balls over to CR7.
And speaking around Europe, it does tie to the Premier League. Chelsea's Batshuayi signed a contract extension. Then he's going to go a year past his loan. He's on a year-long loan to Besiktas. Michi just seems to keep signing new deals. Chelsea keeps paying him for a year, sending him on loan. He just loves wearing the blue and loves getting the checks from Abramovich, apparently. So he'll be in Turkey. Speaking of Turkey, Jibs, don't you have some news on some U.S. players in Turkey?
Yeah, to start, it was a little bit of a bummer because it was a early week match, and I thought he was healthy. Unfortunately, DeAndre Yedlin did not get into the team sheet for Galatasaray. I thought coming from the Prem and him being, quite healthy and, kind of he made it out of last season alive. I was hoping he would draw in, put a couple shekels on them. They did win that bet. Fortunately, that was Monday. While they're going through some qualifiers, but unfortunately, DeAndre didn't get in. A couple guys played in another UEFA qualifying match today. We had Jordan Pifok for Young Boys, and he did not start. I don't know if he got in. I know Young Boys won 3-2 in an exciting match, but we did have Henry Wingo starting at running back.
Wingo!
Definitely going to have to edit running back or right back. I'm reading like fantasy football. For Ferencvaros. a team that I have not heard of, but
Yeah.
he was in the
Who?
starting 11 as a, young-ish 25-year-old U.S. men's national team prospect. I know he doesn't feature in a lot of international tourneys for us, but he went there. And then only other thing of note this week was unfortunately in the loss as the almost debuting as the new seven, Gio Reyna was subbed off late for Borussia Dortmund in that German Super Cup against Bayern. I know I missed the first half of that, but I caught the end. It was exciting. Jeff, I think you caught the whole game. What do you think of that one? One of the first Super Cups you've got to witness.
It was quite the game. First off, the big Lewandowski, is that what it's
Yeah.
called? Yeah.
Yeah. Robert.
All I can think of is the big Lebowski. The guy's like, obviously you're not a golfer. And I
He
mean,
is the dude.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he came out. He scored first, I believe, and then it was. Oh no, it wasn't. He didn't score first, but it was Mueller. Was it Mueller?
Mueller.
Yeah, Mueller.
Tomasz Müller.
Mueller.
Yeah, he scored, and I mean, it was 2-0 then, and I mean, we were, where was Dortmund? Like, paging Dr. Dortmund, paging Dr. Dortmund. But so I mean, after that, it was they did answer with that beauty. It was a fucking beautiful goal.
Marco Royce.
Oh my God, Marco Polo. 'Cause
Ooh.
it was gorgeous. It was right outside the box, and it was one of the best goals I've seen since we started watching since I've started watching any of the European leagues play. And then Jesus of Nazareth, I can was it Akanji? I can
Oh, a kanji?
Oh my
Kanji.
God, the error! Oh my God! I
Sheesh.
mean, I mean, shit, man.
Yeah, he looked like a shortstop bobbling the ball
Man,
on a crow hop. Like,
what's the guy that the first baseman that missed that missed the joint for the was
for
it
the
For the
Mets.
Mets and 80,
Mets?
for the Red Sox against the Mets.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Jesus.
Buckner.
Yeah.
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 And so
Old Bill Buckner.
yeah, and after that, I mean that's all she wrote after that, man. That was it. And I'm about 84.993 repeating, of course. Sure, that Erling Haaland is an arsehole. And okay, in American, he's an asshole for sure. I'm almost positive.
Well,
I mean,
hopefully next year he's our
his name
asshole.
is
Yeah.
his name is Erling. That's an asshole name if I've ever heard. No offense to all my Erling people named Erling listeners to the podcast.
all those Erling listeners out there in Norway. Sorry.
We just lost our whole Norwegian
Yeah.
viewership.
My bad, man. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that guy, he looked like an asshole. I could just tell. But yeah, other than that, it was a great Super Cup. We lost a little bit of money, but it was, you win some, you lose some, but you live to see another day.
Cool. Well,
We got
speaking of winning
EPL
some,
now.
exactly. Speaking of winning some, let's get into the slate. Liverpool won last week, beat Norwich 3-0. Got Burnley this week. 7:30 a.m. This is your table setter for the weekend. Saturday, we have no Friday game this week. It's a Monday game this week, Monday night football if you're on the British side of the coast. And then, but I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. Jay, you got anything to think on? Well, actually, Jeff, you got Mo Salads. He's on your FPL team. What do you think about this Liverpool versus Burnley? Are you scared about Liverpool being a little nervous in their first game at Anfield for a couple months? Or
I am absolutely not worried one bit.
Yeah, no, I think
Mo Salah is mo money, money. Yeah. That's what Mo is. It's too much. Liverpool's too much.
yeah, I agree. It's going to be on Peacock too. This one's not going to be on NBCSN, so you can check it out on Peacock. Jibs, anything to add? I think we're all in unison on this
for
one.
my fantasy team, I just hope Bobby Big Teeth gets another on the score sheet again,
the
either
coolest
assisting
nickname ever.
or a couple goals. Need some more from Roberto Firmino. That would be nice. But I am curious. I really wonder if Burnley can be as defensively astute as they at times present. So,
And for my FPL team, I would hope so because I have Tarkowski sitting in the back.
Who are you playing this week, Big John?
Who am I beating? That would be your name's Jeff.
I like, you know what? I love when people talk trash first, yeah.
All right, we'll see.
And I
We'll
hate,
see.
ooh, man.
we'll
I'm
see.
ready.
First blood drawn on the pod. So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Come Sunday night, Monday's episode.
Liverpool do have Chelsea next, so maybe they might bring off some of those players a little early. Maybe Mo Salads doesn't get a goal, comes off early and scores 1 point for Jeff, and that's what we're all hoping for. See, you saw the head nod if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you. Next up, we have one of our 4 picks of the week, which we'll have at the end of the show, but we are going to talk about it, so we might lean and already kind of give away a pick that we have early, but it's Aston Villa, 10 a.m. NBCSN. So this will be my Premier League morning Saturday show. Aston Villa versus Newcastle. Aston Villa is a -125 favorite. Draws +280. Newcastle +330. Jibs, I think you got a bet on this one. How are you feeling on this one?
I don't have a bet per se. What I'm going to be looking at is
not so fast.
Is our United trick from last year. I don't think I'll put a pre-match bet in, even at those decent -120 odds. I want to see if Aston Villa starts slow again, and either the odds increase in a 0-0 play, or can Newcastle bag a quick one for themselves. And then I will be live betting a comeback or a late take the lead for Aston Villa. This is one where, I think it could be low scoring. I could see a 1-0, 2-0. Now, if it's anything else, it will be like a 7-0 drubbing, and Aston Villa just absolutely does work. But I'm not seeing that yet after what Aston Villa put on the pitch last week. So I'm actually going to keep my eye on this one. Either I'm hoping they'll be down or like 15, 20 minutes in, or I'll be looking to place a wager if it's about 0-0 around the 30th minute mark for hopefully even money.
Sounds good. Jeff, we'll touch on what you think later in the pod once we get to our picks of the week. I do actually think I am going to take this one pregame at -125. Ride it with it and go along with my boy JB and go with that. If they do go down, definitely double up on that bet. Just like we talked about last week with West Ham, possibly when we went down, you see the momentum. And this is going to be an easy one to watch if you're doing a live bet. Like you said, it is on NBCSN. It is the 10 o'clock feature on the cable. Next up, we got Crystal Palace and the Brentford Bees, who are the darlings of week 1 when they beat Arsenal 2-0 in Brentford, West London. Jeff, I know Brentford were a little favorites of yours. They're at +175 as the slight dogs in this one. Crystal Palace at +170. Draw's going to be at 210, +210. Jeff, how you feeling about your Brentford Bees? One of your, we'll say at the top of the table in the Jeff's journey.
The Bees all the way. I think Brentford's riding high. I think they ride momentum in, and I think Crystal Palace. Didn't they post a donut last week? So
Chelsea 3-0.
Yeah. So I know Chelsea, came out the gates, on fire, but I think Brentford's riding high. They just knocked off, they just knocked off Arsenal. Was Arsenal correct?
Yes.
Yeah, knocked off Arsenal, and they're gonna continue that high. So Brentford Bees, it's the Bees for me.
And this one's on Peacock 10 a.m. as well as that same match. Jibs, what you think, and just lean in which way you lean on this one, or do you have any bets on this one?
Well, the other thing that Brentford is going to be riding besides the high is the bus over. This is an away match for them. I don't see, even though Brentford could be Chelsea Junior, how defensive that they played last week and took advantage of opportunities to win 2-0. I think Crystal Palace might still have a better attack and better athletes than Arsenal does, if they're playing in top form, of course. I'm going to say this is a draw. I'm seeing 1-1, mostly because of how defensive Brentford is. It could be 2-2, but I'm seeing a low scoring, grinding affair. So 1-1 or 2-2. I'm going draw.
Cool. I'm on mine. I'm actually this is part of my Premier League parlay. I'm going Brentford plus 175. Buzz on.
Yeah, it's a lot of what ifs in
Yeah,
Jib's little
yeah.
soliloquy over there. A
I
lot of
just
what
think
ifs.
I just think Crystal
And
Palace.
Brentford likes those slugfests. They I mean they only
Yeah,
won 2-0. I mean they
I
can
feel like Brentford can get up and down, and to me, this team isn't playing like a Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace. Not one of those teams to sit back counter with Eze and Zaha. I just think Brentford's got too much power, and they're just going to go through. And I just believe in Brentford. I think they're riding a high, like Jeff said. And again, I just think Crystal Palace is one of those teams that's going to get relegated. So I just don't. I just don't see
I think Brentford's hungry. I think Brentford's like, hey, we're gonna get one of them spots. One of y'all getting up out of here, and it ain't gonna be us.
We gonna get that honey.
I will say I may not even wager on that draw. If anything, I might look at correct score values, but I think I might put a little coin on our boy Ivan Toney to bag himself a goal, which would
open
be
his Premier League score sheet.
Exactly. Open the account, bud.
Is this the opening home match for Crystal Palace?
It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
At Selhurst Park.
Okay, so I mean, maybe they can ride the hype and do what the Spurs did last week.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. We'll see. Speaking of opening another home game, Ellen Roads is where we're going for this one. Leeds versus Everton. This one's another one. Unless anybody has any bets, the odds are Leeds coming in as a favorite. Surprisingly, after a 5-1 loss to United, they're plus 140. A draw is going to be plus 240. And then Everton are coming in as the dogs after a 3-1 win over Southampton at plus 195. This one's also on Peacock at 10 a.m. Again, you have Peacock, ESPN Plus, and your cable subscription. You should be able to see all of the games we're talking about this week. Jibs, what you feeling on this one? I know we're talking game of the week, but are you leaning any type of way in the betting standpoint?
I think that Leeds will have a ton of clean sheets. Shoutouts for our American friends. This season, I just don't see it against those more infamously top 10 or so teams. So I got Everton. It's on the road. Leeds just got blasted by us.
Mollywopped.
So, I think Everton can pull this one out. They already went through their tribulations by going down early and pulling out that win. They showed they had some goal-scoring prowess, and, they've got a couple of players that can defend the back end in front of their keeper. So we'll see what happens. But, I'm going with Pickford to hold it down on the back end just enough for Everton to squeak out a dub.
Sounds good. Jeff, do you have any bets on this? You want to save your picks for later in the show? I know you're kind of tipping your hand a little bit there, but what are you thinking? You gonna throw a little shekels on this one? As Jibs like to say.
We'll let it marinate. We'll let it marinate.
Right.
I like what Jibs was talking. I like what he was talking. I like what he was saying.
All right.
What do you think, John?
I think I'm gonna hold mine. I think I might have a controversial pick on this one, so we'll see. Maybe I might be the outlier on this one, the tangent.
Bob Black Sheep.
I might be the variant on this one, so we'll see. Let's go to one that I don't think we will have any variants on. I think Man City Norwich is our next one coming up. It is a 10 o'clock on USA, so this one's one you got to have that cable. And then we got minus 1050 for City. If you want to throw $105, you can win $10. So risk at your own or bet at your own risk there. 1-800-GAMBLER. If you want to bet minus 1050 for City to beat Norwich, you should probably call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'm just going to throw that out there unless it's in a parlay. And that's again, 10 a.m. USA. If you think Norwich can come win and City's going to lose 2 in a row, it is plus 2,400. $100 wins you $2,400. So I'm just going to make sure I do my duty here. Does anybody got anything on City Norwich that isn't City with the win? I do have maybe something on this game later in the bets of the week. But Jeff, what you got?
I'm calling Norwich. Hot take.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah, that's a new to the game pick.
Yeah,
I'm taking Norwich.
Hey, it could happen. It could happen.
I'll take it. I'm coming in. I'm coming for a hot take. You know why? I'm coming in for a hot take, and I just, so my instinct is telling me that what's the draw on that?
The draw
Plus 600.
is
Or,
no,
I'm sorry.
plus 950.
Yep, 950.
It'll be about 950.
Well, okay, okay. So I don't know how to do this. Okay, well, how do I have to call it? I have to call it. I have to say if
I mean, you can
if,
put in
There's
two different
double.
bets.
if I would, I
There's a
think
double chance. I'll find the value there. Double chance, which would give you either Norwich
Win or a draw
to happen. You would be looking at plus 650. So 10 returns $65 for a total payout of 75.
yeah. You know what?
And that's if Norwich draw or they win, you get that. And then you can place a separate bet just for that 2,400 because that's a lot of shekels.
I mean, if you're going to do it, that's a little half unit play right there for me.
Yeah, you might as well. Yeah.
I like it. I'm gonna go for it.
All right, there you go. There's one of Jeff's picks.
Scared money doesn't make money.
See, you said it.
And you know why? You know why? I want to make an effort. I want to make an effort to play this game, and I want to see if I can trust my instincts.
Well, Jeff, let's do something here. Where we'll do our own win, draw, loss. So my pick, because it's even money, is Man City covering the 2-goal spread. So we'll figure out a little wager where you get Norwich draw, and I'll have Man City
and you have to hit
3
the spread.
or more. And then if we meet in the middle and like City only wins by 1 or 2, we'll figure something out. But we'll put something together because I am completely opposite. I think this is going to be a gong show, and City like 4-0, 5-1, 6-0 drubbing.
And stay tuned. I might also have something with that plus 100 bet in a parlay as well. So we'll see with that spread.
I do like this for potential of a same game parlay with that spread, and really City dominating and all the smaller stats of the games, corners, shots on targets, maybe pick a goal scorer or 2 for them. So the goal would be to get that plus 100 in on a little bit, and then maybe find a little single game parlay to get it up somewhere between plus 400, plus 500 odds.
So we got a We Say Soccer showdown this weekend. All right, cool. That moves us into our next game, which is a little bit closer than the last one. You're not going to get as good as odds, Jeff, on this one, but it's our 12:30 on NBC and also on Peacock, so it's on NBC proper and Peacock. Brighton versus Watford. Brighton coming off a 2-1 comeback victory over Burnley, and Watford winning the 3-2 hold-on victory against West Ham last week, or Aston Villa, Aston Villa. Jibs, what do you think on this one? I know you're a Brighton bettor. You're one of the followers. You gonna do this live, or you gonna do a pregame?
You stole the words right out of my mouth. I'm gonna do this live. Maybe I'll put a little half unit just on Brighton from the get. But what Watford did with Aston Villa last week does give me pause for caution. I still think Brighton can do it. They're at home. Minus 135 is pretty good odds for a team I like being at home. And they did have their own comeback. So that equals our formula. Maybe we look at live betting this one. But I'll put a little half unit down on that minus 135. But definitely have my eye on it. It is the 12:30 match. I think it's awesome that it's on NBC Sports as a side note, because there's actually sneakily quite a few fans of both of these clubs in America. So I like that second weekend, the 12:30 p.m. New York City time NBC Sports game. So that's kind of cool for me as a little side note as well.
Yeah, too. And also, again, this one is one of those double ups where it is going to be on TV and on Peacock. So if you have Peacock and don't have cable, you can also find this one as well. Jeff, did you have any bets on this this Brighton Watford game? I know you were talking about Brighton a little bit earlier, or you think you're just going to stay away from this one and keep it focused on the other matches?
I mean, for some reason I am going with a lot of away teams this week. I feel like Watford is going to go over there in Brighton and maybe pull something out of the bag.
Yeah, and you'll see, because Brighton did definitely leave it to that last 20 minutes. I think it was 72, 78 is when they scored, and Watford did come out to the big lead, and you mentioned it last week. You like to see those teams that like to come out aggressive and get to a league just because it's better to hold on than it is to try to climb back in. So that could be something you could bet too. And then also if Watford goes down live, maybe throw on some live, get you a little bit better odds since you do like them to show out. All right. And that takes us from Saturday into Sunday. We have our opening table set, with Southampton and Manchester United. We're going to talk about this one first, being our club. Speaking of drummings, I think this is going to be another one. A team that, we all think, at least I know two of us do, is going to be one of the relegated teams.
Mm-hmm.
Against, a team that we think is going to be challenging for that league title, especially coming off a 4-assist Pogba performance. Holla for the Peas. And a 3-goal Hattie for Bruno. Jibs, how you feeling? Our squad, Southampton, it's our first away match. How you feeling?
Great away record last year. I don't know how the spread is only -1 for 165. I think we win 3-0, 4-1, 5-2, 5-1, 5-0, 4-0, 6-0, 7-0. I don't know. It could get crazy. But I also like both Greenwood and Cavani to get minutes in this one, depending on Cavani's form. Maybe that hype video of his chant on Twitter earlier got me going. But I think both of them can score. I think Bruno can get on the sheet. And Pogba, do half of what you did last week, and you're going to have 2 assists, 3 assists once again. It's going to be another McFred game. I'm curious if Varane will play, or if do we throw him into the fire for our next big match, or do we get him a little bit here, get Lindelof a little bit of a breather as well? So we'll see, but I love us on the spread. Gonna take
-2
big time.
And that's what I was gonna say. Also, maybe you'll hear it a little bit later, but -2, the alternate spread on this is +440. So if you think United's gonna win by 3, maybe you can think about doing something with that. Also, Jeff, at -160 is what the live line was looking like right now for the 90 minutes. Are you thinking about anything United? That seems like a pretty good line against Southampton, a team you saw lost the lead against Everton last week.
Oh no, no! I'm Man U all the way. I'm staying away from this one.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
This one. Yeah.
Let's see what your boy
I think
PP6. Yeah, let's see what Paul Pogba can do. The game that's going to be on NBC at the end of that 9 a.m. window is Wolves versus Spurs. Nuno Espirito Santo going back. What you got, Jibs?
One more quick United comment. I'd really like to see maybe a little combo play off some set pieces, or just running up the wing on a counter if Southampton tries to push us. I'm really looking for Luke Shaw to get involved here like he did in the Euros. I think this is the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, against his former team as well.
Yep.
I think
he was an academy lad.
This could be the match where Luke Shaw says, "Yep, I'm that dude still playing from the Euros, bringing that tenacity. I'm going to press this game all day long." And that's why I do think both, if they both play, Cavani and Greenwood could get on the score sheet off some kind of play from Shaw on the wing. And last note, look for Sancho to get a couple more minutes, if not the start. So I'm really excited for this match. And I like that it's the Sunday morning NBC Sports match. Start my day off nicely.
Just a slight note, that one is on Peacock. The NBC Sports match is our next match that we were just going to talk about, Jay. That's where you got that off of. So did you say it? No, you're good. It's Nuno's, like I said, return to the Molineux against Wolves. Wolves versus Spurs. Spurs coming off that 1-0 victory on Sunday against City. Wolves losing 1-0 to Leicester. What do you guys think on this one? We got Wolves are the underdog at +230. Spurs are still getting plus money because I feel like because they're on the road probably. +130, and then a draw is +210. Me, myself, I'm probably leaning draw. I think it'll be a 1-1 score draw. I think Adama might actually score one here. I think Spurs are going to come off that high against City where everybody was kind of doubting them. They really had nothing to lose in that one. And I think City was a little disjointed. And, I just think Nuno going back might be too much of a circus where that's the whole show is that. And I think either Son or Lucas Moura is going to get one. But I think Adama Traore, Neves, or someone else is going to score. Maybe Podence for Wolves is going to come through and get one. But I think it's going to be a draw. That's my hot take of the weekends. I think it'll be a draw for the Wolves Spurs match.
It's definitely a hot take.
So what do you think? What are you thinking, Jeff?
I don't know, Jimmy. What do you think? I think Jimmy, you go. You go, James.
All right. I think this could be a draw because of all that, but they just dealt with a circus playing against City with Harry Kane not even on the bus.
Press box.
So I'm actually, just because of that could factor, I'm going to throw a little bit more juice at this and take the draw no bet for the Spurs at minus 160. I mean, Spurs against a team on paper, they are better than. I can't remember the last time we've had a draw no bet with them under minus 250. So
Yeah.
I'm saving almost, 90 cents on the dollar against that. Yeah. Draw no bet, minus 160 Spurs. Give it to me. And if it's a draw, I get my money back. All good.
So that means you expect the Spurs to win, but you can take a draw and break even.
The
push.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
net.
Perfect. Thank you. Perfect question, Jeff, because I was just going to go into that. Yeah, so a draw no bet is a bet that you can make in soccer, is you can take for lesser odds, where you saw that Spurs to win were plus 130, but JB said it's minus 165, right? For the draw no bet. And that way, if they draw, you just get your money back, push, hey, move, keep going on the day. But if they win, you win the bet, but only at minus 160. So you're giving them a little juice, as they say. But you're giving yourself a little insurance on that too.
Another good match for a single game parlay, if you're into it too. Like looking at like the team totals, like both teams to combine for X amount of shots, both teams to combine for X amount of corners, as well as picking a goal scorer and a winner, or even just that draw no bet. I'm not saying a long drawn out 9-leg same game parlay, but do a little 3, 4, 5-legger and $10 to win 30 something. Buy yourself a nice lunch this week.
I like Spurs to win.
Especially at plus money, right? You feeling it?
Yeah. I'm sorry. What were the numbers on that again?
Plus 130 is Spurs right now, and this is on Wednesday, so lines could change. So just look.
What's Wolves?
Plus 230 at home. Yeah.
Okay, so the Wolves are the underdogs.
Yep.
I think this is a good candidate to do the draw no bet for your normal unit play or to win a unit.
I think they win big. I think they win decisively.
Yeah. But then you can throw a half a unit since they are plus money to just win. So the way I look at this, say I'm a $10 better, I'd lay the 16 on draw no bet to win 10, but then I would throw a half unit, $5 on that plus 130. So I should be profitable even with or not profitable, but very low risk with a draw. Like it's not a damaging little loss. Don't wager more than you can afford anyway. 1-800-GAMBLER for help. But that's how I would look at a game like this. Do my full unit on that draw no bet, a little half unit tease on the Spurs money line, maybe what I'm looking at there with Jeff.
Cool. And as always too, just remember, like JB said, bet responsibly, and just look on your books. We do record these on Wednesday, so line could change. So just look at your books for the updated numbers. And If you hear my dog in the background, that's young Smokey. She's probably excited about hearing all these nice bets we're all putting in, and hoping we can get some new dog bones or a new bed or something like that. All right. Our game of the week is Arsenal Chelsea, 11:30 NBCSN. Arsenal come in as a plus 360 underdog, draws at plus 270, and Chelsea's at minus 130. Jeff, what do you think on this one? North London, two teams hate each other, Blues, Reds. What you feeling?
So I didn't know too much about. Is this a bigger rivalry in the EPL? One of the bigger ones.
It's one of the bigger ones for sure.
One of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part, but that still does not sway me. I think Chelsea's too big, too bad. They go in there and they pour salt in the wound on Arsenal after that I don't know. It was one of the most joyous butt whoopings somebody's ever been dealt out. It was such a happy ass whooping that they gave them.
They just look so lackluster in week one. Like I just don't know how you can see Arsenal. Like, maybe it's a bounce back game. They do have City next week, but
Yeah, and Brentford just took the will to compete. I mean, so I don't know. So hopefully the rivalry unites something in Arsenal. They can try to make it a contest, but I think Chelsea's too strong.
Yeah, Jibs, do you think of the same thing? Leaning Chelsea on this one?
It's kind of cool how the schedule laid out here. We've got what we had last week. We had Arsenal, Brentford, and then we had Chelsea, Crystal Palace, and now it's literally flip flopped.
Yeah.
We kind of already have kind of thought, is Brentford a mini Chelsea with how they're sound defensively, but get that one or two players out on the attack and then bring that support? So much like I'm looking for Ivan Toney to score a goal, if Rom starts, taking him to score, and if Rom starts, so I may take the risk and just put the bet in tomorrow. I'm taking Chelsea. If he doesn't, I may actually stay away, which I hate to do on the game of the week that NBC Sports calls it, not us. And maybe look for a single game parlay opportunity just to have some fun. But I think, it should be Chelsea's game. Think about that a little bit longer. We'll wait until we get to our We Say Soccer table picks.
Exactly. That is one of our picks. In this later in the episode, we're going to go over our picks. And then let's go to that rounds out Sunday. Let's go ahead and go to Monday. We got West Ham Leicester, which is another one of our picks. So with this, let's just go ahead and introduce what we're doing this week, because we are going to talk about this, because I think all of us are kind of teeter-totter on where we're going to this last one. So let's introduce what we're going to do. We didn't do it for week one. We wanted Jeff to get his feet wet, and see how the games go before he makes any predictions. But what we're going to do is pick 4 games out the week. One's going to be, if there's a single game on Monday or Friday, that's automatically going to be in those 4 games. If there's a game of the week where 2 top 8 teams are playing against each other, then we're definitely going to go with that one. Or if it's, say, a Merseyside derby, something like that, where it's a big game, that one's automatically going to go in there. Then we're going to pick one game from Saturday and an additional game from Sunday. We're going to go with that. So we're always going to have one game on each day and one of the big games, and then that single day too. So first, West Ham Leicester. We'll talk with this last. This is our last one on our list, but we'll go ahead and jump to this one. We have West Ham as the favorites at plus 155. Draw is going to be at plus 240. And then we have Leicester coming in as the dogs at plus 175. West Ham coming back on Newcastle last week, beating them, I think it was 4-2, I believe so. And Leicester winning a 1-0 KJ affair against Wolves. Jibs, let's go to you first. What are you thinking in this Leicester versus West Ham in your first pick of the We Say Soccer pick'em table?
There's going to be nothing else besides baseball to bet on this coming Monday. I'm not a big baseball bettor. So I'm definitely going to take this one, but I'm going to get creative a little bit. Going to pick a score, going to pick a winner, going to pick a goal scorer. I'm going to eventually parlay these all together. West Ham wins 2-1. Jamie Vardy does keep the party going with a goal. I think it'll be 2-1 Hammers. Put it in ink. Don't write it in pencil. Put it in ink.
So we got 2-1 West Ham. Vardy with the goal. You'll see the parlay. Pay attention to our Twitter. We'll be sending out our same game parlays, so you can again tailor fade. Either way, we just want you to make green. Jeff, let's go to you.
We got to make scores. We got to pick scores too.
No, I'm just saying that for betting sakes. But in the pool, I'm taking West Ham.
So West Ham's his pick. Jeff, what you thinking on this one?
Man, I am torn.
Same. That's why I threw it to you first, because so I can time to think about it. Well, here, I'll go first.
No, I got. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go. If you're ready, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna go. I agree with JB. I think Jamie Vardy is having a party.
A Vardy party.
A Vardy goal with a Yuri Tillemans, because he's on my FPL team assist.
For sure.
And I think that's going to happen first. And I think it's going to happen in the first 20 minutes of the game. And I think we're going to see West Ham do exactly like they did last week and make a comeback. So I'm actually going to wait to bet this on the gambling side of it until it's live, because I think Leicester comes out hot. I'm taking West Ham also in a 2-1 win, come from behind.
I like it. So, John, you're essentially saying you think West Ham can do what Wolves couldn't do last week, and
Exactly.
and after that initial goal, show some life.
Yeah.
Because Wolves, they didn't show life until that 91st minute heart attack that Jeff and I almost had.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as I looked at these picks, I make a check by who I think is going to win. Right. And I made a check next to my homeboy, Vardy. And then, you know what I did? I scribbled out the check and I wrote down a check next to. Can you see that? I don't know if you guys can see that.
Barely.
What? Check next to West Ham. You see the scribble? There's a scribble on the other side. There's the scribble. I scribbled it out. I scribbled the check out.
Sorry to podcast listeners.
I'm sorry.
It's there. It's there. No, a scribble is there, and a check is on the other side. We can't.
Thank you.
We will confirm.
Thank you for confirming. It was so. I do think Vardy is always on time for the party, and he keeps Leicester close. And makes it competitive, but I think West Ham is too much. I think that the way that they were playing last match, I think that it's just a little too much going with a little too much talent, a little too much athleticism, just on an average throughout the team. And I think they win, and I'm going to call it 3-2 West Ham.
All right. I
like it.
And if you do want to go with what we're all saying, Jamie Vardy to score the first goal is plus 390. If you want to throw a little half unit, quarter unit on that. And then Jamie Vardy to score any time is plus 120. So that's still plus money.
I like that. I like that. Can I? And so, okay, can I do this? And okay, so guys, I'm asking novice betting questions, right?
Yeah.
Is it good to bet first goal on another team and have somebody else win? Have y'all?
You could add what you could do too is do a bet where you're propping in both teams to score. Mm-hmm. You could do that. If you're really confident on that team to score first, you can add that to the same game where you can say Leicester to score first or Leicester first half goals plus a half or over point half. So half a goal. They just got to score a goal essentially.
I wouldn't mind hanging with you with that, Big John, and playing as a live bet as well and waiting because I do think Vardy comes out hot. I think.
See, and that's the only thing with that The same game.
But West Ham scored. They scored first half last match too, though. West Ham.
They did. They scored second, but they did score first half though. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's why I think maybe we could do like a same game parlay where there's just a Vardy score anytime goal, and then West Ham money line still to win maybe, and then just do like we like doing, adding up the shots in the corners in there as well. Mm-hmm. Maybe a Mikel Antonio goal or something like that.
Shout out to Saeed too, who's been Rama. He's on my FPL. Shout out to the boy.
All right. So we're gonna circle back around. I know we did start with the Monday game, but that was the last preview. So that's where we're gonna start with, and that's the one we're gonna give the most in depth with, because that is the last game we were talking about. So let's go backwards a little bit. We'll go Saturday. We got Aston Villa versus Newcastle. Newcastle took a loss in that first game, as did Villa. So we'll see who's gonna get a bounce back here, or are they going to equal each other out and draw? Jeff, you got your little smirk going. What do you think in this Aston Villa versus Newcastle first opening match for Aston Villa at home?
Aston Villa music. Aston Villa all the way. I think they're going to be. I think they're just a little too good for Newcastle. And I think they're at home looking for their first win. I think they get it this week.
Yeah, I think they do get the 3 points as well. Me and Jibs kind of tipped our hat earlier. Jibs let them know how we were going to bet it. I said I'd probably take it pregame and take it live. Jibs, you want to reiterate that? And a
couple shackles go with Villa on the pregame, but going Villa, and like I said, when I'm looking at that on a live bet, is it like we do with a couple other teams that we've mentioned? Is it 0-0 at 30-minute mark? Are they down early and going for the comeback at some great odds? That's what I'll be looking.
And that's something too to look at that West Ham Leicester, especially being the only game on Monday with nothing else really to bet on. Something else to look at is the live bet if Jamie Vardy does in fact score first, like we said, and go from there. Jeff, what you got on?
Quick question. So, okay, so you're betting for Aston Villa to win because it's at 125, which means you'll bet 10 and win 12.
Seven.
No.
Remember,
Okay,
that's
you win half
750.
of that.
That's
Half
the
of that.
750.
Okay.
You would
All right.
risk 1250 to win your 10. If your unit is
Okay.
10 and you always want to win your unit, you would risk 1250.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, that's how I'm reading it. Okay, cool.
Or if you always bet your unit and bet 10, I would win 750.
Okay.
So 1750 is the total payback back. Okay, this one I think is one that we're going to be a little bit more different on. We'll see. We definitely kind of touched on it a little bit. I think I might be on a different side than my other two blokes here.
Well, I think we called ours out. If you're still riding with Everton, I'd really just like to dive in why John is going maybe opposite here.
We'll see. So this is 10 a.m. Leeds versus Everton. Jeff, you were snickering like a schoolgirl earlier. Are you, like JB said, are you still riding with Everton on this one?
I am.
All right. So you think the Charleston and all that's going to get it done. So JB, the Rafa hater, 1 week after the first week preview, comes back and bets Everton against Leeds. What I think is going to happen is I think this is going to be a draw, and I think it's going to be over 3.5 goals. So I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. I think both of these teams can score. I think both of these teams' defense is Swiss cheese. Again, you guys know this isn't an agenda, but I don't think Pickford is as good as people make him out to be. And I think Leeds, this is just how United plays Leeds. We always kind of blow them out. It happened last year, opening game too. And I think Leeds are going to bounce back here. First game at Ellen Road for this Premier League season. So I'm going draw. I'm not necessarily going Leeds. I don't know if I can all the way go Leeds on pretty much any bet because I am a United fan. But I definitely think it's going to be a draw. And maybe, too, if Leeds go down early, maybe this is something to bet draw on late. Or just ride with Everton if that's what you're going with, because Everton is getting the plus money here at the underdog as well, too. So,
and I will say, just to clarify what you meant by Swiss cheese, we think Leeds can be Swiss cheesy against the
Swiss
teams
cheesy.
that are top half money earners in the Prem. But, they did have 12, I think, clean sheets last year. So, we'll see what shows up. But I think Everton is just too classy. So, not a bad pick with the draw at home, but got to keep rocking Everton.
All right. And then we'll finish it up with, again, NBCSN's game of the week in London, Arsenal versus Chelsea. Jeff, what you got on this one? One of the first big matches you're going to see. You did see Spurs City last week. This is one of the first big inter-city rivalry games. What do you think? What do you think is going to go on this one? Do you think it's just going to be a blue night in London?
I definitely think so. I think it's going to be I don't know. You're going to see a blue sky at night. It's going to be, it's definitely just going to be, Chelsea's just too strong. I don't like what I saw from Arsenal in that opening match against those bees. They're still washing honey out of their pockets over there, and so I'm gonna go with Chelsea for the dub. A decisive, resounding dub.
Again,
sounds good. Jibs, you riding that same train?
Yeah, if
2-2,
it could easily be mirrored of what it was. Chelsea 3-0 win. If you have a Chelsea defender or keeper, this is the week to start him for sure in your fantasy leagues. I think they could clean sheet him.
And it's even something to look at too, like we did. We do think this is going to be a little cagey. It is definitely going to be a physical affair with these two teams going against each other. But if you do like Chelsea to win by 2, you can get them at plus 240. Yeah. So I would try to get that. Especially
not high
if
enough
you
for
see
me.
Especially if you see Rom starting, and that's why sometimes it might benefit taking this early.
If you take Chalaba, what's his name?
Trevor
Chabala.
But this is one of those instances where taking it before the lineup could be beneficial because if you see Rom in that lineup, I think that line is going to drop from 240 on that spread of -1.
But
so
if you like it no matter what, if he's not in, it could raise. So
exactly,
keep an eye on her.
So that's what I agree with that. I think Chelsea's going to win this one. I think the hot seat just gets turned up on Arteta, and it's not going to get any cooler when they play Man City next week after this one.
I'd love a draw here to cool off that seat and keep them around, but not give either team a win. Give them each a point and keep Arteta around.
And, that's how it was, too, last week with City and Tottenham. I would have been perfectly fine with a draw, both of them not getting any kind of points. That would have been nice for United. But so Jeff, any last words before we get out of here?
Couple players I'm watching. Dennis out of Watford, okay. Trevor Chavala, right, out of Chelsea. Who else am I watching?
This is his FPL watch list, folks.
This is his
FPL watch list.
Guys, I'm just telling you who I feel like passed the eye test. All right, just put it on record. All right, who else? I like Henry out of Brentford. The defensive,
Rico.
Yeah, I like him, and I think I picked Leicester to lose, but I do like that boy Ailing. What's his name? Ailing.
Ailing's Leeds, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Lee. I'm sorry.
He hit the cracker against us.
Yeah. I picked Leeds to lose too. Goal. Yeah, I picked Leeds to lose. I'm sorry. I picked Leeds to lose as well, but yeah, I do like Ailing. So that's it. That's all I'll say.
Jibs, what about you? Anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, two things I want to touch on. One EPL thing. I think this in the City match, I forgot to mention, I think this could be the Grealish coming out party. Look a goal and assist that way.
Old Jackie Cavs.
Yeah, just for a little fantasy preview there. And then two quick plays, because I know you've got some that you'd like to mention. Or technically three quick plays. I really like Monaco versus Lens at -140 this weekend.
I'm also on that.
At home.
Good call.
I love away, but I am still mad at them from the Europa final. Villarreal +130 against Espanyol. They are away. And then a cheeky little Bundesliga play. I know Hertha Berlin's decent, but I'm taking Wolfsburg over them at 130 to combine with Dortmund versus Freiburg. Freiburg's also not halfway bad in that league at -210. That makes it +239. So a little $10 wager will win you $23.90, taking Wolfsburg and Dortmund in a 2-leg parlay.
All right, and that's a good segue into my other European picks. Also in Ligue 1, I have Monaco at -140 versus Lens. Yeah. I like that one. Not too much value otherwise in Ligue 1. Something to look at. I don't know if I'm taking yet. It'll probably be a game time decision. Real Madrid at Levante this week. They're at -165. They have won 14 out of the last 22 in all competitions, though, so that's something to look at. And my favorite bet out of Germany this week, I'm actually going Leverkusen at plus money at home against Mönchengladbach, +125. I know Mönchengladbach did just draw with Bayern Munich in match week 1, but Leverkusen have won 3 of the last 4 while playing Mönchengladbach, and they're 11, 9, and 5 over the last 25. So that's something I'm looking at +125. And then I mentioned it a little bit earlier in my Premier League predictions that I'm doing a cheeky spread parlay where I think the favorite's going to blow out some of these relegation battlers. If you take Liverpool on the -2 spread, which means they got to win by 3, they're at +170. City, as me and Jibs both mentioned, at -2, which means they'll win by 3, is at a +100. And then United -2, which we mentioned during the preview, which means, again, they'll win by 3, is at +440. If you take all of those together, there'll be +2870, and a $5 bet will win you $148.50, a.k.a. bringing home the bacon. So it's a little cheeky parlay. Throw half a unit on there. Win 148. You throw a full unit if you're a $10 unit better, you'll win close to 300 smackaroos. And that's what we're trying to do here. We Say Soccer. Keep you informed, keep your wallet full, and keep you having fun, folks. So again, thank you guys for listening. I've been Big John. He's been Jibs. He's been Jeff. And that's been another episode of We Say Soccer. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey.